in Indiana, up in the northwest corner of the state. Let's bring in one of those Republican challengers who's hoping to unseat Congressman Mervan in Indiana District 1. That's Martin Lucas. Martin, we thank you for being with us very much. I want to note you're a graduate of DePaul University in Chicago, as was my dad. And my brother-in-law, so a blue demon, I guess. Right?
I'm also originally from South Chicago myself, so
right,
and then I moved to Indiana about 17 years ago.
We're probably cousins somehow. But let's get down to the work that you're doing now. You have worked in the consulting division of IBM, I guess. So what made you decide to throw your hat in the ring, run for Congress?
Well, basically, I love the United States. The United States is built on democracy and capitalism. And those two institutions are not as strong as they should be. And I think much of that problem has to do with what's going on in Washington. For example, if you were to ask most people, what do you think of politicians? The standard answer you're going to get is usually not positive. They're either self-serving, they're all talk, no action, or they're all the same. And that's why I entered the race, because we're not all the same. I believe in term limits. I'm not a career politician. I also believe in a lifetime ban on myself and all my family members from ever becoming lobbyists. I'm not in this for any personal financial gain. There's too much money in politics. In fact, if you were to go to my website at www.votelucas.com and you went to my donation page, it would tell you, if you have money to donate the money to charity, the poor, the less fortunate. They're the ones that need the money, not the politicians. Now, the politicians, they love to spend money and other people's money. Our national debt presently is at $30 trillion. And I don't think people realize how large of a number that is. So let me put it in terms of time. People can relate to 1 second, how quick 1 second is. But if we were to go back 30 trillion seconds, we would go back 950,000 years. Years, not days. And if you look, the country is deeper in debt. But every single career politician, when they get in Washington, if you take a look at their net worth when they start the office, and by the time they get out of office, their net worth has gone up significantly. So there's something wrong with that picture. That's part of the reason why I entered politics.
Classic American outsider message there. And so I'll ask you the question that I asked Congressman Mervan. What's the biggest issue that you think is on the minds of the voters in Indiana District 1? He talked about, bread and butter issues, economy, jobs, that kind of thing. What do you think?
I would agree with what he said as far as with the economy, the inflation, et cetera. He had spoken, though, about jobs. Jobs is one thing, and it seems like the federal government will just throw money at a problem and just continually to throw money. You actually need a partnership between, I'm talking about now District 1, for instance, a partnership between the private sector, higher education, and then also the government itself. And those three must work together to form not just jobs, but marketable skills for the people. And without a doubt, of those three functions I was talking about, it's not the federal government dictating down. It should be the private sector dictating what is needed. They have by far much more knowledge than the federal government about what's going on in our district.
And Martin, if I could ask you finally about another thing I asked the congressman, that's kind of the cultural issues that swirl around our politics. You've talked about economy and jobs here and patriotism and love of country. It seems like we find something different to fight about in this country every day. And on most days, it seems to me, it's dumb. I mean, it's something that's not going to matter to us in a month. Do you think the politics in Indiana District 1 is also kind of roiling with those cultural issues, or are people focusing on other things? How do you think that works out? And what do you think former President Trump's role is in your race?
Well, I would hope people are focused on issues. To put it in perspective, just to say what you're saying, I mean, it's become where sometimes family members are not even partaking in family functions because of politics. I mean, there's more to a person than politics. Even though, for instance, Frank is a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I would still say I respect him as an individual. Obviously, we're going to disagree on policies, et cetera, the role, how big government should be, how much businesses should be regulated, et cetera. But still, that's only a part of a person. So I'm hoping family members will see that and families will get together, that there's much more to a person than simply, your political affiliation.
Amen to that. Martin Lucas, Republican candidate for Congress in Indiana's 1st Congressional District. We wish you luck. Good luck tomorrow, and thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. From one fellow South Chicagoan to another, take care. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. I have to confess, I'm actually from the north side of Chicago, but I'm a Chicago patriot to begin with.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.